Brother Dunlap had the vision for a summer camp where children could come and spend a week, and with a godly counselor of college age and a CIT, which would be a counselor in training, assisting him or her, they could spend a week together. It was for the salvation and evangelism of the youth of Tidewater. As the vision materialized, a piece of land was found after Mr. Dunlap had looked at many pieces of land, and this was on the Northwest River, not too far from the center of Chesapeake. And on Bunch Walnuts Road is where it's located. And it was approximately 80 acres, which we were able to buy, and then it's expanded to a point now where surrounding land has been available and obtained, and it's close to 300 acres now. And Mr. Dunlap presented the idea of this particular piece of property to the executive committee, which is now called the Board of Elders, the executive committee of Tabernacle Church. And this particular presentation that he and Gene made, because he and Gene both had walked over the property and recommended to the executive committee that we go out and take a look at it. Well, they decided, since it was a moonlight night, it was about 11 o'clock at night, that we get in our cars and go down and take a look at it then. So that's what we did, and we met by the bridge there at the Northwest River, and then we walked up the river through the briars and honeysuckle, and we stopped at the location that the lodge is on now and talked, and then we walked out through the woods out to the field where the swimming pool is now, and that was a cornfield, and we could see it fairly well in the moonlight. And we talked and we prayed, and at that night we decided that we would buy an option on that property. And so it was unanimous. All the board members really agreed that that was the thing the Lord wanted us to do. And so that was the humble beginning of the Triple R Ranch. And of course, they came from different parts of the country too. As people would move away from here, they'd send their children back for the summer camp, and we'd meet them at the airport or bus station or whatever, and take care of them for the week and then send them home. And so we heard of a carload of ladies that were leaving from Norfolk Christian Schools one day to a meeting up in Washington, D.C., a ladies' meeting. There were 5 in the car, and they were comparing notes as to how they found the Lord. And 4 out of those 5 said that they were saved at the Triple R Ranch. And as we go down there and work, we have some retired buddies of mine that go down every Wednesday, and we work, and we do carpenter work and painting and whatever needs to be done. And we know that every nail we drive, every ditch we dig, is dedicated to the purpose of leading those children to Christ, because we're building, keeping the ranch going and in good shape so that the children that come there will have a nice place to sleep and a nice piece of property to perform all of the events that take place there, the program, and keep the barn in good shape and all of those things so that they can enjoy themselves and are impressed by the facilities and have an opportunity to find the Lord there.
Do you see how that worked? Mr. Dunlap had the vision. He shared it with Brian. You heard Brian tell it back to you. And Brian and these men have gifts to drive nails and saw and things that Mr. Dunlap didn't have, but he took their gifts and pulled them into his vision. And now it's their vision. You heard it beautifully spoken in Brian. That was Mr. Dunlap's vision. And he shared it with Brian, and then it took on Brian's gifts, and it became Brian's vision. And that's the way it worked.